This is your definitive guide to the Galaxy Ring, the end-to-end user journey, how to buy it, how to set it up, and what it's like to wear in day-to-day life. Let's go. The Galaxy Ring is a new era for Samsung, a new category that they are entering into. And if you've bought one or you're thinking about buying one, this is the video that you will want to watch. Let's just dive right in and not waste any time. Starting with figuring out your size, you could, of course, guess. Like, you can see the size range that you have online and you can take a punt as to what you think it will be. But you don't have to do that. Samsung offer you a solution via a free sizing kit. And when you select that on the website, you can get this kit sent out to you. In this sizing kit is all of the sizes of all the Galaxy Rings available. And the package is kind of similar to like a Galaxy Buds box. It's very familiar, very uniquely Samsung. Samsung encourage you to try all of the sizes, try them on different fingers, and then go and use it in a day-to-day scenario. Go out, drive a car, go out, have a coffee, go to work and work on your keyboard, wash your hands with it. All the stuff you'll do in a day just to see how it fits in and how it feels on your hand, so you can get an understanding of the right size and the right finger you want to wear it on. Once you submit your size and then you get your ring, it's time to set it up. Obviously, with a new category, Samsung have to provide a different and new unboxing experience. And I really like what they've done here. The Galaxy Ring, once you slide it out of its original packaging, comes in like a jewelry ring tile box that sort of opens up like that. And then inside of that sits the actual case, which again, is also like a little ring box. I love this. This case being transparent is just so cool. I love the style and the unique design that they've given to it. I really like the little indicator on the inside. This, when there's no ring in it, will sort of give you a guide to the battery percentage, which I think is really cool. It also has this button here, which I think is like a reset button, so you can then maybe pair it to another phone. I don't want to do that, so I'm not going to press it. Good thing with this too is as soon as you open this up, your phone will recognize the Galaxy Ring and the pairing process can begin. And then it's very, very quick and seamless to pair. So once you've got it all paired up, let's go through the settings that you can interact with in the Galaxy Wearable app. We'll come back to the top section of the app a little bit later on. I want to first dive into the settings. The first one being the health settings that you can control. The grayed out areas down the bottom indicate that they are being handled by the watch. Now, whilst those areas are grayed out, it doesn't mean this can't actually track activities. You just need to not be wearing your watch. This can actually track all of the metrics when you start an activity from your phone. So whether it be walking or running, this will track your heart rate and send those vitals back to your phone and log them in Samsung Health. And the auto detection will work for walking and running. But again, it'll function in that same way where it'll detect the activity and then send the metrics and track it on your phone. The watch obviously is a bit more complex than that. It will auto detect activities and then track it directly on the watch, whereas the ring will start and detect the motion and activity and only send things like the heart rate data back to your phone. But the watch will take precedence because, well, it does a lot more in that sense. The ones that aren't grayed out here are heart rate alert, you've got sleep tracking, and you've got some women's health stuff as well. The heart rate alert, you can go in here and toggle on a low or high heart rate alert, and it gives a metric that it will then activate that. The sleep tracking, you've got 3 toggles in here that you can turn on, which then enables you to be able to track different parts of your sleep, whether that be snore detection, and you can further dive into that as well. All of that's in there, and the ring is capable of doing it. You just have to decide which ones you want it to do. Then you do have the women's health, where based on skin temperature, it can predict cycles. Now, I obviously will leave this off. For example, my wife might want to use it. It's a very good tool to have and nice information that it can collect and guide you on. Now, the other one in here that's really interesting to activate is gestures. Now, with the Watch Ultra, Samsung activated a double pinch gesture by default. It used to be in accessibility settings, but now it's part of the OS, and the Ring has it as well. Now, it's only got 2 ways that you can use it. When you go into the gestures settings, you'll see it's dismiss alarm and it's take pictures or video. Before all of that though, you can try it and sort of master it, and then it'll give you an on-screen guide as to whether you've done it correctly or whether you need to try again, and then lets you know once you've nailed it. Now, it's quite interesting how this will work. For the camera, very, very simple. Launch the camera, double press, and it will do video or it will take pictures depending on the mode that it's on. And then dismissing alarm is very simple. Again, I can imagine in the morning, quick double pinch, go back to sleep. I'm about that. The rest of the menu options you'll see in here are pretty standard for like one of Samsung's wearables. Reset, software update, find my ring. That sort of stuff is all part of Samsung's ecosystem, especially the SmartThings Find part of it. But there's no really need to dive too much into it. It's pretty self-explanatory. If we go back to the top, there's 3 sort of buttons there that you can interact with. Energy score, sleep, and heart rate. Starting with energy score, Samsung brought this in as part of their Galaxy AI when they launched the Watch 7 and the Watch Ultra series a couple months ago. Basically, the measurements that are taken from the watch or the Galaxy Ring sort of put together in this chart, or this, I guess you could call it a chart. I don't know what else you'd maybe call it. And it sort of chronicles and tracks certain different things and puts them all together in one place. Then it takes all that information, analyzes it, and gives you recommendations as well as a score. Whole point of this is to help guide you on things you might need to improve. So the day before, if you've been active and you've slept well, your energy score will be high, and it'll basically just tell you to maintain and sort of keep that progress up. Whereas if you're a little bit lacking in both of those areas, it'll sort of guide you to be better at it. A lot of you might think that you'll know this for yourself, but sometimes it's just really good to see some of the things you don't think about that you can then maybe spend a bit more attention on. That's what's good about the energy score. It combines all that into one place, because the next part of it is sleep. And then it takes that sleep data and puts it into the energy score. The sleep tracking is very comprehensive. Samsung's always had very comprehensive sleep tracking data. I'm not one to test the accuracy. That's not my spiel. There's definitely other places you can go to do that. I just take a look at the way it can track and what it can track, and it's comprehensive in that sense. And the Ring is very good at that. Then there's the heart rate, which again is sort of part of the whole energy score thing, being able to track your heart rate during sleep, but also just day-to-day stuff as well. Ring contributes. Now we should talk about wearing it, because it is a ring, and you pretty much should know how to wear a ring by now, but there is a trick to it. Initially, I thought when you first have to wear it, it shows you that you need to have the little notch and ridge facing upwards. But that's not the case. It actually is showcasing the palm of your hand in the software, and that ridge needs to be sort of facing the same direction as the palm. That's because the sensors are all kind of inside here, and it needs to be hitting the fleshiest part of your skin. The best contact it can make. So that's what you need to do, and that's how you need to wear it. But for the first week, I've been wearing it the other way, which is pretty embarrassing. Outside of that, it's a ring. You wear it on your finger. The thing to note though is that it's bigger than a normal ring. When you compare it to my wedding ring, you immediately notice the difference in the size, especially with how much it protrudes off the top of the finger, which means that day-to-day life, you will probably hit this against things by accident, because you're not used to something that large sort of sitting on your finger. The good thing is it's made of pretty stern stuff, but I'll talk about that in a moment. But you will feel it when you're doing the day-to-day stuff that you do, whether you're driving, whether you're walking, pushing prams, drinking coffee, drinking drink from drink bottles, all that sort of stuff. You will get impacted and feel it on your finger. Not in a bad way, because it's very lightweight. It doesn't weigh down your hand, doesn't feel sort of like you need to do finger crunches just to keep it on there. It's incredibly lightweight for what it does actually contain. A lot of that is down to the finish of it. It's got a titanium finish around the frame there, which means that it's going to maintain that lightweight. That's the whole point of it. And extending out from that strength and durability is its 10 ATM and IP68, meaning that when you wash your hands, when you take it out, pool, showering, no footage of that, you'll actually be absolutely okay with wearing this, and it'll survive all of that because it's meant to. But what I've really enjoyed about wearing this, aside from anything else, is something that I haven't enjoyed about the Watch Ultra, and that's battery life. The Watch Ultra conversation can be saved for my review, which is coming. Hit subscribe. But what I really enjoy is that when this is on charge, which at the moment is every other day, this takes over for all my vitals. So whether that be heart rate, whether that be especially sleep tracking, I'm not actually going to miss any tracking whatsoever, because whilst this is away, this comes out and does the job day to day. I can't believe I just rhymed like that. We'll move on. That's the good thing about it, is these two complement each other nicely. Like if one's not able to do it, this one will pick it up. This is currently at 70% battery after 4 days of use. Now I know I have the bigger one, so obviously it's going to have a bigger battery, but the fact is that after 4 days that I have this down to 70% means I've probably got at least another week in it, which is so good to have that confidence knowing that that's going to last me that time. The other aspect that I really love is the fact that I don't have to really do anything. I put this on, I've set up the toggles, and that's it. I let this do the rest of its job. With a watch, you've got to turn on, activate things, and always activate tracking, and just be aware of the watch in general. Obviously, convenience-wise, the watch is a whole nother story. But the ring, it's just a bit of jewelry that sits on my hand, but it's doing so much more than just looking aesthetically nice. Process of charging is really simple. It's the case. Take it off, chuck it in, close it. It's now charging. The case itself too charges wirelessly through the wireless charging pad on the back, or via the USB-C that is here on the back of this as well. So that's the ring. That's the Galaxy Ring. It's a new category for Samsung. It further extends the options that they have in their ecosystem and choice that consumers can choose from. Because why not have choice? It's a great thing. Sometimes you might not need or want a big bulky wearable that sits on your wrist to do all of this tracking for you. You might just want something subtle and minimal that you can wear every day that complements fashion, as opposed to just being something big and bulky and techie. Hit subscribe to Tech with Benefits. Let me know if you're getting a Galaxy Ring or if you have one, and then I will do a review later down the line. So far, really enjoying it. See you guys in the next one. You.